Hello and goeiedag, and welcome to beautiful Belgium for the first of two videos exploring the Baarle Enclaves, the legendarily complicated area of international borders between Belgium and the Netherlands. You have sent me more requests to make a video about this than anywhere else on Earth, so I'm not going to make one, I'm going to make two. Later on, we'll explore the borderline insanity of the town itself, but before that, we're going to explore a completely different line, this one. Which is why I've come to a railway station about 10 kilometres south of the border, in the Belgian town of Turnhout. These days, this is the end of the line, but the tracks used to go much further, all the way into the Netherlands.
And of course, we're not here to see any of that.
No. Wait. Yes, we are. Who on earth are you?
My name is Gabe. I have a YouTube channel called What on Earth Is This? All about interesting travel and transport things around the world.
Oh, that sounds good. Do you want to come along? Do you fancy coming along and having an explore?
I thought you would never ask.
So today we're going to be riding along the former railway to the famous Baarle Enclaves. And what with it being a former railway, the only way you can really ride it now is on a bicycle. But luckily it turns out that Turnhout had turned out a selection of bicycles for us to hire, so we grabbed two of them and set off up the line. The entire route of the old railway has now been converted into a cycle path called the Baarle Enclaves. More about that name in a moment. And as you can see, the existing track continues alongside us for a few hundred metres or so, before ending in a bunch of sidings. At which point we cross over a canal, get briefly distracted by a World War I bunker, and then it's pretty much a straight line all the way from here to the Dutch border. Or at least, the first Dutch border. There's going to be a few of them.
I don't know exactly if you know this off the top of your head, but what is Bels, as in like Bels Lintje?
Bels Lintje, or Lintje, means the little Belgian line.
Ah.
So Bels is Belgian.
Oh, right, okay.
The line was built in the 1860s by Belgium's Great Central Railway Company in order to connect Turnhout through the enclaves to the Dutch city of Tilburg. And it was part of a grand plan by the Great Central to create an express route between Amsterdam, Brussels and Paris. Meanwhile, on the Dutch side of the border, the project became known as the Little Belgian Line. But I'm just going to interrupt myself there, because at this point we came across a thing.
There's a thing?
There is a thing. So, what's this, Gabe?
This is the Kijktoren Bels Lintje.
Kijktoren.
The Kijktoren observation tower, apparently. Kijk meaning look, toren meaning tower.
And we're looking out on the Turnhout Vennengebied. The Turnhout Fen area. I imagine this is good for bird spotting and, well, it's certainly good for midge spotting.
Oh my god,
we have discovered.
It's good for midge eating.
Yeah.
Involuntarily, I should say.
Some decent fennen.
Yeah, nice view.
Alright, should we carry on cycling?
Yeah. So, we're about 10 minutes from the Dutch border, but once we cross the Dutch border, like, is Baarle right there, or is it like, do we have to keep going a bit further?
Yeah, once we cross over the main Belgian-Dutch border, we then almost immediately hit the first enclave.
Right.
But once we're through that, it is a little bit further before we get to Baarle. I think it's 15-20 minutes. Now, in theory, the Great Central Railway's plan to make this the main line between Brussels and Amsterdam could actually have provided a quicker and more direct route between the two capitals. Problem was, in reality, the route was operated by 4 different companies, and the Great Central could never get them all to coordinate their timetables. As a result, passengers often had to wait hours at the connecting stations, the journey took far longer than it should have done, and what was supposed to become a major cross-border main line never became more than just, well, a little Belgian line. But fast forward 40 years to the early 1900s, and those 4 companies are down to just 2. The nationalised Belgian Railways in Belgium, which has long since swallowed up the Great Central, and the Dutch State Railways in the Netherlands. And suddenly, the Belgian railways have a great idea. So is this the border coming up here?
I believe so, yeah. Obviously there'll be one of those...
Wait, this is a platform on our left.
Oh yeah! I completely missed that. And this, I assume, is where the station building used to be.
In 1906, the now nationalised Belgian Railways began a major investment programme in the line designed to resurrect the Great Central's original plan, including the opening of a brand new station right here on the border. It was built on a grand scale, with customs facilities on both sides in order to process all the passengers they were expecting, and an enormous 24-track goods yard to handle all the freight. And then, just 8 years later, World War I started, and the Germans stopped all cross-border traffic between Belgium and the Netherlands.
Alright, what have we got up here?
Well, it's a restaurant, but it appears to be closed.
A restaurant that is not open.
But it is still an old train platform, and there are actual tracks down here.
I'm guessing this is an old goods shed then?
It's now, it's not open until tomorrow, the restaurant.
Not open until tomorrow?
Yeah. It's not open until midday on Saturday, and today is Friday.
So I think we've agreed, Gabe, this would be a great place to have a drink.
Oh, it would be perfect.
If it was open.
We've timed it terribly by accident.
Yep.
And speaking of terrible timing, that interruption by World War I could barely have happened at a worse time for the railway. Although the train service picked up again after the war, by now they were beginning to face increasing competition from buses and cars, and passenger numbers never really recovered. Eventually, the government decided to cut its losses, and passenger services were discontinued in 1934.
According to my phone, we're apparently coming up to the first enclave already.
Oh yeah. Is this it here?
I think so. Yeah, there's something on the floor up there. Yes, that is it. Yep.
Right. Back into Belgium.
Yeah. Let's go.
So I think we've got a couple of 100 metres of Belgium before we pop back out into the Netherlands again.
Yeah, I actually don't know how wide this enclave is, this first one. Oh, there it is, up there, I see it. On the ground.
Belgium, 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 Belgium.
Back into the Netherlands.
And back in the Netherlands.
I've got a hankering for stroopwafels, or what other famous Dutch things are there?
Definitely a shout for a stroopwafel, isn't there?
Although the passenger stations closed in the 1930s, the line was still used by freight trains up until the 1970s, after which it closed properly, then reopened as a heritage line before that ran out of money, and finally the tracks were ripped up and turned into a cycle path in the 1990s. Anyway, we're now on the final stretch of our journey into the town of Baarle itself, or more accurately the dual town of Baarle, where the Belgian bits are known as Baarle Hertog and the Dutch bits are known as Baarle Nassau. And we're going to need to cross through one of the Belgian bits before we get to the station.
Oh, we're going to cross it any second. There it is.
Oh yeah, next to the dog.
Hey.
Hello.
There you go, now we're in Baarle Hertog proper.
It's nice around here.
Yeah.
Can see why they were fighting over it.
Oh, another border.
Oh, right, here we
Oh,
go.
and this one's got a sign.
Ah, first one where the sign is still there.
Ha.
And back in the Netherlands.
Lovely.
We can't be too far off the station now.
Is that our final destination?
It certainly feels like a good place to get some food.
We're sort of geographically sort of in the middle of the town now.
If you see a wok restaurant, that's the station. I believe you will find a wok restaurant on your right just coming up.
I'm looking forward to it. This looks stationy.
Suspiciously stationy.
Yeah. Wok. Is that wok? No.
Yep. So this is the former railway station of Baarle Hertog, Baarle Nassau. which is now a wok wonderland.
And that brings us to the end of our journey along the former Baarle railway line. But it's only really the end of part 1, because now we are in Baarle. So stay tuned for the next video, where we'll be exploring the best of Baarle's bonkers borders.
Is this what I think it is? Is that actually the border?
And I may or may not be saying the following sentence,
Which at one point was at the centre of the Baarle Butter Wars.
In other words, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then now would be a great time to do that. And while you're at it, I highly recommend checking out Gabe's channel, What on Earth Is This? Because something tells me it might be up your street. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.